lay the mattress tray on the floor. If you have carpet, then that's fine. If not, then lay down some cardboard and then take out the mattress support panels. There are a few screws that just hold it in. After you have removed all the screws that are holding them in, just lift them out and set them aside. The next step is to make sure that the ball attachments on the mattress tray are moved all the way to the back. It requires a 7/16 inch socket. Next step is to put the leg arms on. There are also a couple of black flathead screws that go in the top holes. The next step is to attach the leg pole between the two legs. It takes a 4mm bit, and there are some long decorative lag screws that are used to attach it. Lay the cabinet side down in this position and put on the white plastic bushing on the post, and then align the post with the trunnion hole and slip the side in. Then there is a spring clip that has to be put on the post that is showing on the inside of the bed now. And then do the same for the second side of the bed. There are three pieces that get attached to the bottom of the bed case. The first is the spreader, which goes between the two case sides, and the cams on that spreader are going to be facing the bottom, like that. This is the back side of the bottom trim board. You'll see that there are some Raffix pins that are already set in this. Yours does not have those pins set in it. We are sending them to you. The stretcher that goes between the two case sides is going to be set on and maneuvered into the Raffix pins and then tightened. You will have noticed that there are two holes for each Raffix cam position on that front bottom trim board. The upper holes towards the center of the back of that trim piece are in case you have hardwood floors. The lower holes towards the bottom of that trim piece are in case you have carpet and need to hold the bottom trim piece up above the floor a little bit. Now we're going to attach the bottom trim assembly to the bottom of the bed case. It's a little tricky. You have to lift up the bottom of the bed and slide that piece in far enough so that you can then slide it down onto the Ravix pins and then attach the assembly to the bed case sides. The next step will be to install the gas pistons on either side of the bed. Notice that the case sides are spread out a little bit at the top so that if you need to lift the bed mattress tray in order to get the pistons on, they will not hit the bed stops. Okay, let's go ahead and put the first piston in. Alright, now we're going to have to lift the mattress tray up just a hair in order that the piston can slip on. And then to the second side. Next step is to attach the bed case top to the bed case. Once it's in position, then move the sides in, making sure that the bed stops are not going to damage the bed side rails, and then tighten all the cams. There are 5 cams on each side that need to be tightened. Notice that the lighting and the wiring for the lighting is mostly installed. Now we're going to attach the wire at the top to where it connects in with the driver below. And then the extra slack is going to get taped down to the back so that it is not going to show when the bed is against the wall. Then attach the power cord to the driver to be attached to the wall later. Before you raise the bed, you will need to tighten up the adjusters so that it comes up to number 3 on the adjuster. Now we're going to raise the bed case up to the vertical position. You'll have to hold the leg pole and lift on that as well as the bed case at the same time. It takes 2 people. We're going to pilot our are holes through the front trim into the case sides, and then insert the trim head screws and screw them in, burying the head of the screw just slightly. Before you move the bed case up against the wall, you need to attach the handles. You will have to measure from the top of the tray down to this first strut to see where you can put the top hole of your handle so that it comes above that top strut. And then the second hole needs to go below that top strut. In this case, we are going to put the top hole 16 inches below the top of the bed case and about 3 inches on either side of the center seam. You will use a 3/16" bit to drill these holes. One person behind the case will insert the machine screws through those two holes. The person in front of the case will align the posts on the handles with those machine screws, and the person behind the case will tighten the screws. The next step is to measure the same distance out from the seam on either side, so you'll know where to set the next two bottom screws. And then drill the hole right in the center there. Before you put the bed case up against the wall, you will want to find where your studs are using a stud finder. And put a mark just above where the top of the bed will be. You need to get at least 3 good screws into your studs. Now you'll move the bed case into the wall, into position where you want it. Now you'll want to get some thin shims and set them in at the top so that it's evenly spaced between the case sides. In this case, the wall is very flat and the bed is sitting perfectly against the wall. If not, if the top of the bed tends to lean out from the wall, you will have to shim the bottom of the bed case at the front so that the top of the bed case comes up against the wall. The next step is to go ahead and attach the bed case to the wall using 3 or 4 3-inch screws. All right. Now we'll pilot the holes where our marks are. We can set our screws into the wall. The next step is to pull the bed out of the case and down so that you can install the mattress support panels. Before you insert the 1.25" flathead screws to fasten the panels down, you'll want to countersink each hole. Otherwise, there's a possibility that the screws may break off, and then you've got a problem. And go ahead and insert and tighten your screws down. Congratulations.